Professor Laddish in Ag and Bioengineering. We teach a course to faculty and graduate students that talk about this whole process of technology commercialization at a university or even in a company, which is a lot of fun because we get very, very smart people from all different disciplines. So it's very nice. Okay, Purdue also has a lot of kind of extracurricular resources. I was talking mainly about programs on the academic side, but if you have an idea for a venture, you can go to the Foundry, for instance, and they'll give you advice on next steps, or they'll have you do some more analysis to look at who your potential customers are. They have various events as well. And Purdue Research Park takes care of anything that has to do with technology transfer. So if you invent something, there's a whole group of people who can advise you on how to protect that in terms of intellectual property. I think that's my next slide. Yeah, so intellectual property. So undergraduates don't have to worry about this too much unless you're using a lot of Purdue resources, or if you're working in a research lab or you're paid. That's when you have to worry about intellectual property. But if you are in your dorm room and you came up with a great idea, or in your apartment, you don't have to worry about that. At some universities, you actually do. But we had gotten the policy changed, so it was very clear that undergraduates own their IP here at Purdue. All right. So as I said, in terms of, here, some people say you do the education or you just go and do it, right? I would say the role of education here is at the university. We are creating entrepreneurs. We don't care if you do it tomorrow or if you do it in 20 years, right? Our goal is to lower the barriers so that, someday an opportunity comes up, you say, well, gee, I know how to seize that. I don't have to rely on somebody else, that you have the tools to be able to do that. But some of the other entities are really focused on short-term venture creation, right? So I just like to make that distinction between both, because there are a lot of resources on campus, so some people get confound them. All right, so we are located in the Burton Morgan Center for Entrepreneurship, along with the other Purdue Research Foundation programs that I talked about, or most of them. And I am happy to give anybody my card. If you have any questions, I always meet with students, so I'm happy to be a resource. Any questions? Nothing. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. Yes?
Have you had any experience as an entrepreneur?
So I worked for a company, a very small company in Boston. So, and it was only two partners, me and another guy. So I have experienced that entrepreneurial, sweating it to make sure that we had enough jobs to keep the business afloat. My husband just started a business, so I'm heavily involved in that business. So yeah, I mean, I have like my own, activities that I could do, like consulting businesses and things like that, but I just don't have any time to do anything beyond what I'm doing right now. But I see lots of ideas. I have lots of ideas, but you really do need the time to act on them. So, yes.
So for student entrepreneurs,
yes.
Now you said there are some university-based grants available for them to apply for it, right? So can
Yeah.
you tell us what kind of grants are available for students?
Well, typically is this something, are you working in a research lab or something like that?
No, like some of my friends that they design technology, they want to
Right.
Make it commercialized.
Right. There can be some if you want to do some market research and things like that. So to find out about that, I would go to the Foundry. Sometimes they'll give small grants to go and do some customer development, to do some proof of concept. But to get the bigger money, typically it's intellectual property that's related to invention at the university, research at the university. And there you can write a proposal to get higher levels of funding that really can, you can do some good development with. So there's another program called I-Corps, and that is a national program, but that also is primarily targeting faculty and graduate student entrepreneurship, but there are undergraduates who have gotten it. Typically, they've been working with faculty, but that's also, you have to apply for that money. It's $50,000, but typically tied to some type of university-based research. So, yeah. Unfortunately, people aren't just giving away free money, though, so. And there are a lot of steps. You don't just go and say, oh, I have an idea, I have to get it. I mean, you have to write a pretty compelling case. So, any other questions? Yes?
What's the course number for the consulting class?
That is was it not on there, 460, I think? Yeah, I don't have the number. I think it's ENTR 460. I'm pretty sure. So Rita Baker is our coordinating academic advisor. She knows pretty much every academic advisor on campus. So if you have questions about how to fit this into your schedule, her email is Baker with 2 R's at the end, Bakerr, and she can work with you to figure out how to fit this in. We also offer summer classes, so you can knock out those 2 classes. If you happen to be here doing research or something, you can do those 2 introductory classes during the summer, which is great. So, all right, well, let you get back out to the sunshine. Yeah. All right, thanks so much.